Well, what do we have here today? Spin Master has made some 6-inch action figures based on the new upcoming James Gunn Superman movie. I got mine from Amazon, and so the card backs are really messed up, which is strange. I mean, I don't usually get action figures where the package is like taped shut. This has been taped shut on the corner here, and it's all mashed and gnarled on the bottom and all screwy on the side here. And Mr. Terrific, his packaging is all friggy. It's, opened a little bit here on the back and also on the side and on the, well, really it's open, pretty much everywhere. This is how they came. I swear to bejesus, they came this way. What a mess. So for the sake of looking at the package, we're just going to look at the Superman one because that one didn't show up all frigged up. And the back, you can see you got all the figures in the wave. I managed to pick up the top 3. I could not find Metamorpho, Hawkgirl, or the Engineer on Amazon. And they come with the parts that I need to put together the collect-to-build action figure robot from the Fortress of Solitude. So we're going to have the head and the torso and the 2 arms, because they come with Soups, Guy, and Mr. Terrific, while we're just gonna have to wait for those other parts. So pretty cool, pretty flashy packaging. I like that. I like the comic books. Up here you can see in the top left, you got Superman flying in right here under a nice, big, bright, classic-looking DC logo. This is fantastic packaging. Okay, so let me get them out, and I'll be back in a second. Okay, and they're all out of the package together, standing in front of us, Guy, Soups, and the Terrific One himself. I gotta tell you, when I found out that these 6-inch Spin Master figures were coming out, I was more than a little surprised. So this really does seem to be them dipping their toes into the 6-inch waters to see exactly what they could come up with. And for the most part, it's not too bad. There are definitely ways that I wish that these figures were different. And we'll get into that as the video progresses. But as I share my thoughts, you'll see that there are definitely places that I wish that these figures were a little bit more modern in their 6-inch scale articulation. But overall, for $10, figures that have been made to be child's play toys and not really with adult collectors in mind, I feel like these are pretty darn good for what they are and what they're intended to be. So Superman came with the head and torso for the collect-to-build Superman robot number 4. It seems that we're going to put together number 4. Guy Gardner came with an arm, and Mr. Terrific came with an arm. So there we have the 2 arms and the torso and the head for the collect-to-build Superman robot. Very cool looking sculpt indeed, I will say. They've done a great job crafting the sculpt for these, and the paint is nice, neat, and tidy. I will say though, I am surprised that this thing doesn't have any head articulation whatsoever. It's just one piece, and that would have been kind of cool if there was head articulation. But it does have elbow articulation that articulates up really nicely actually, and it rotates. So I'm sure this collect-to-build figure is going to be really cool once I manage to put it all together, but that'll have to wait for a different video. Next, we have Guy Gardner. Let's just move these 2 off camera and give Guy the spotlight for a moment. Starting off, we're going to look at the head sculpt up close, and this actually looks like Nathan Fillion. This looks like the actor in question who's supposed to be playing Guy Gardner. Yeah, I can definitely see his face, the shape of his face, the cheekbones, the nose. This looks like Guy Gardner and Nathan Fillion. This is very, very good. I like this a lot. And the paint is neat and tidy. The eyes look pretty good for what they are and how small they are. We look here, we got the logo on his chest, the J and the L put together for Justice League. And it looks like he's wearing a biker jacket. When really, I mean, yes, it's basically just, a Mr. Terrific jacket, because the team is wearing like a quasi uniform in the movie, only with their own colors. Does this, to me, look like something that Guy Gardner would ever actually wear? No. I can't imagine Guy being happy wearing this. This doesn't look like something Guy Gardner would wear. White pants. It's just too much white for Guy Gardner. Do I like the design of the suit? Not especially. I wish there was more black involved, and I just wish it looked a little bit more like the comic book version of the suit. And they probably could have figured that out, but instead they went with, well, with this. You know, let's just make everyone look like Mr. Terrific. It is nice to get more details of the suit that we possibly haven't seen before. And that we've all seen the Green Lantern symbol on his belt buckle. We've seen the line work. We've seen the greens and blacks on the jacket. We've got his forearm here. We got this detail on his forearm that I know I hadn't paid a lot of attention to. We got his Green Lantern ring right there, and on this shoulder, while this shoulder is bare, this shoulder has the Green Lantern logo right there on it. Lots of white, more pants, Guy Gardner's guy boots. They look like state trooper boots, like if he rode a motorcycle and he was a state trooper, which is funny because this looks like a motorcycle jacket, like if he owned a crotch rocket. All in all, not a bad figure. I actually do like their attempt at this figure, at this character. And if I don't like the suit, that's not on them. That's actually on James Gunn for allowing this to be the final design of Guy Gardner's costume for the movie. He is articulated fairly well. Like, you do have plenty of outie out motion. You have pretty good forward motion and, well, really nothing back. He's got a big, hard rump. He's got single jointed knees that do not quite 90 degrees. And they rotate back and forth, and the ankles do nothing because there's no articulation. I take it back. He doesn't have okay articulation. He has articulation. He poses a little bit. He's got some posability. You got the arms that go up into the T like that. They rotate around. He does not have any kind of a bicep swivel, so if you're going to swivel, you got to swivel from the shoulder, or you've got to swivel from his elbow, which does 90 degrees pretty much, and then we'll rotate around like that. And then you've got the head sculpt for articulation. Don't expect to get the head back at all because his head back here gets in the way of that particular motion. So can you get him into a Green Lantern flight pose? That is the question. Well, yeah, I suppose so. I mean, I have to bear in mind, I have to remember that these are toys that are marketed and marketed to children, not really to adult collectors. So as a kid, I know I probably would have been happy with this. Although I will say, in this day and age, I feel like it's important to have ankle articulation, of which there is none on any of the figures, not just Guy. So next, why don't we look at Mr. Terrific? Since we're looking at people in Mr. Terrific-like costumes, you know, this one is actually Mr. Terrific in a black, white, and colored suit. This is where they got the look for the Justice League, I would be assuming. I don't know why they went with a Mr. Terrific style look for the Justice League and why they all have to wear jackets like Mr. Terrific, but here we are. This is what we're dealing with. But it actually looks good for Mr. Terrific. This looks like a very cool looking, very almost classic looking Mr. Terrific. I really like how they made him look for the movie. You got the T on his belt there for Terrific. You've got Fair Play down one arm here, and you've got Fair Play down the other arm here. You've got Terrific on his back. I really like that. I really wish that with the McFarlane Mr. Terrific, not the one that's coming out for the movie, but the regular one, I wish that they had to put Fair Play down the sleeves and Terrific on the back. Not a bad look for Mr. Terrific. Pretty good. And the facial sculpt for Mr. Terrific, again, just like with Guy, looks like the actual actor in question. His name escapes me at the moment, but yeah, this looks like Mr. Terrific, and it looks like the actor, and the eyes are painted nicely. The whole face is painted neatly and tidily. So yeah, not bad. That's Mr. Terrific. And now we have David Corenswet's Superman landing in the frame, and I like the colors for this guy. I like the fact that the blues and the reds are really nice tints of these colors, and you have that nice big yellow belt there. I think they did a pretty good job. I don't mind the overall design of the suit in general. I do wish that the neckline was different, and I absolutely wish that they used a different logo for the chest, but those of you who know my channel know full well that I would have rather them not go with a Kingdom Come logo that's been modified to be red and yellow, rather than just using something that actually looks more like an S. Does the head sculpt look like David Corenswet? And is it neat and tidy? Well, it's not bad. The eyes are, I wish they were a little bit different, but they're not bad. I mean, this generally, especially for a kid, especially for a youngster, this looks very much enough like David Corenswet that they're not going to have a problem with it. You do have the neck going way up inside of the head there, so for a character that is a flight character, you can't expect any articulation, not much, any articulation to look up. Just basically looking around in a circle like with the other two figures, their articulation would have been the same. And that's why I skipped it with Mr. Terrific, because it's going to be no different than Guys and with Superman. I did order a second one because I didn't like, if you can see the red paint, when it was moist, something scuffed his trunks. It just looks messy and sloppy, and the belt is more sloppy than I would like it to be. And the boots, you can see the paint there doesn't sit right. And right here it's messy too. So you have the boots where the paint looks a little sloppy as well. It is nice that this will give us a definitive look at Superman's suit for all of the line work and all of the fine detail in the suit. Like, I had no idea that the back of his suit actually looked like this until I bought the figure. No idea we had this stuff going on back here. I'm assuming that these two here should have been painted, because I'm assuming that they're actual belt buckles. And this is probably, no, the belt loops, I mean. And the middle is probably the belt buckle. And I don't imagine that this is the buckle. I imagine that the buckle is on the back of the suit. And having this figure shows us these things. I do wish that David Corenswet's Superman figure here had closed fists, because why does he need grabby fists when he doesn't come with any accessories? Just like none of them did. He doesn't come with kryptonite or, I don't know, anything. And he doesn't come with T-spheres. And he doesn't come with constructs, and yet all of their hands are open, which is sort of strange to me that that's the case. I don't know what they're planning on grabbing onto. But anyway, not a bad figure. We do have the logo on the back of the cape that apparently hates being in focus. It's part Yeti. There we go. We got the logo on the back of the cape, and the logo is nice and crisp. The cape for this is just a strip of fabric. That's all it is. Don't expect it to be very capely. Expect it to be very striply. And the way that it's attached is definitely different. Like, you've got it attached in the shoulders right here, like a so. And then it attaches into the back right there, like that. So you can see how this cape is attached. It's strange. It's different, right? It's weird. Not like something I've ever seen before. But whatever. I mean, again, this is designed for children. So if you're a collector like me, you're going to pick it up anyway. But they really weren't thinking of you and me as their primary target audience for these figures. They were thinking, we want to sell toys, action figures, to kids, just like they did in the old days when a cool movie would come out. And so I compare these to what did I have when I was a kid when Batman came out. And these are definitely in some ways better than the stuff that we had that were movie figures way back in the 80s and in the early 90s. Anyway, what do you think of these figures? Do you think that they are reasonable for $10 a pop, which is what I paid for them, $10 USD? Or do you just think that they're trash even at $10 a pop, and you just walk by these and go, nasty, and spit at them? And what do you think? Let me know down in the comments below, and I will see you with the next one. Have a DC day, everybody, and take care.